Hey, you're listening to A Chat with Heart. I'm your host, Christina Martin. I'm a singer-songwriter, curious human. I live on a dirt road in rural Nova Scotia with my partner in crime, Dale, and our calico cat, Olivia. This podcast is basically just me chatting with people I admire. I like to ask questions that feed my curiosity, and my guests have all taught me something. They either crack me up or they punch me right in the feels. If you've got questions, comments, or a burning desire to join the conversation, please call my Heartbeat hotline, day or night. It's 1-902-669-4769. You can also email me at christinamartinmusic@gmail.com. And if you want to throw a little love my way and help keep this thing going, visit my Patreon page. That's how artists like me get paid. Thanks for showing up. Warning, heartfelt content ahead. If we just talk about it, we could shine a light, we could break a dark day. If we just talk about it, we can cut away, we can make a brighter day. Hey friends, it's Christina here, and you're listening to A Chat with Heart. I want to start by congratulating our beautiful friends who were married this weekend in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. It was a beautiful celebration and ceremony. I'm going to go out there and say it was my favorite wedding that I have ever attended, apart from my own. But no, maybe this was even better. Yeah. Because, I saw so many people that we love. We witnessed our two friends start this new chapter in their lives. Melanie Stone and Jason McIsaac, congratulations. We love you. And I cannot wait to have you over to play Match Madness and snuggle with our cat, Olivia. Beautiful wedding. Well done. Congrats. And thank you for your friendship. Before I dive into this episode, I have to let you know because, there are listeners that are new, always new listeners. Hello. So happy you're here. And one of the things that kind of irks me is hearing from folks after a show, oh, we didn't know you were playing. We would have bought tickets. And so I think it's okay. I've got to share the updates that we're playing soon. So I've got some shows on the horizon. They're coming up real fast. I've been in full on rehearsal mode, and it's been months since I performed with an audience. And these are going to be some real special events with my trio and a string ensemble. I can't wait to bring these shows to you. Tickets are online at christinamartin.net. We'll be in Truro, Nova Scotia, Halifax, and Annapolis Royal in September. And I do have some more tour dates that we're announcing later in the fall. But that's it for now. Also, thanks for being here and for listening, for your time. Seriously, don't be shy. The Heartbeat hotline is open anytime. Leave me a message, a story, a question about anything, a feeling. I would love to hear from you on my phone line or via email at christinamartinmusic@gmail.com. I think I'm going to have to start throwing out questions to y'all because I know it's kind of it can feel awkward just calling a phone line and leaving a message. But I love random messages. Yeah. Okay, so at the time of recording this, I've literally just dropped a new single. It's our version of Thank You for Being a Friend by Andrew Gold. You might know it as the Golden Girls theme song, but it's honestly so much more than that. I want to thank the musicians who performed on this track. As always, I love working with my best friend, my husband, Dale Murray, who engineered and produced this song, and Parachute Mastering, for mastering it, of course. Jason Vautour, bass guitar, amazing. Hannah Melanson on piano, nailed it. Jordy Comstock on drums. I mean, come on. When does Jordy ever fail at his task? Never. Karen Graves, she did all the string parts, performed them all, and then Dale mixed the track, and we are thrilled with how it turned out, and it's so fun. And a bunch of you submitted photos and videos per a request I made on Patreon and social media, and I was able to put together this wonderful homemade music video, totally obviously homemade, which was a lot of fun. It was very tedious to do, but I smiled so much while making it. I just hope you could check it out on YouTube and share it with people you love. I just hope it makes people happy. And it is a bit of a nod to, not a bit, it's a nod to Andrew Gold. I don't know if you noticed, but Dale and I are wearing Andrew Gold t-shirts in the music video. And I just hope the song finds the audience that needs it. Okay, so check it out. It's right now available on my Bandcamp, and as of August 1st, it'll be available on all streaming sites. And the videos on my YouTube channel, which you can find easily, I'm sure, just by searching in YouTube, or just visit my website, ChristinaMartin.net. What better time to celebrate friendship? You know, my friend Kai once said, he's in Germany, international friendships prevent war. And that stuck with me. I have a terrible memory, but that stuck with me. And I was like, yeah, like you're not gonna go to war with your friends. Like that's why it's like really, really important that we build friendships ongoing with art, with coffee dates, with, when leaders travel to different countries, even to potentially sworn enemies, and they try to build friendships. They try to find common ground. They try to understand each other better. That's what we all can be working on our own. I think if we're feeling helpless, with all that's going on, it's not bright and cheery in the world. I think you have to say to yourself, what can I do? What can I control? I can do my best to build these healthy relationships in my life and around me. And that does have a ripple effect. That does not mean that you're going to be friends with everybody. It doesn't mean that you have to put your energy into everybody, but just do the best you can, I think. And that simple saying, be kind, goes a long way as well. Listen to me, super preachy. Today's episode is one I feel incredibly lucky to share. You are going to hear from our dear friends, Layne and Hayley Greene, two beautiful humans who let me tag along in a way as they began their journey to start a family through IVF. I, up until recently, have called it IBF. So if this is why I'm going to give you a little explanation of what IVF stands for, because I didn't really know. And I was calling it IBF this for my entire life. So IVF stands for in vitro fertilization. It's a medical process that I'm reading this because there's no way I could remember, and I'm not a doctor. It stands for a medical process that helps people conceive a child by combining eggs and sperm outside the body and then transferring an embryo into the uterus. It's a path full of emotion, hope, science, highs and lows, and love. And Layne and Hayley share it all in this episode with incredible honesty. We recorded our chat over 3 visits in our home, before the pregnancy, during, and then after their baby Stanley arrived. So as a bonus, throughout this episode, you'll hear clips of Layne's original music, super talented, which adds such a beautiful layer to their story. Okay, so let's get into it with our dear friends, Layne and Hayley Greene. I thought it would be special to capture bits and bots about your epic journey trying to make a baby. I've always wanted you to have kids, and I just want to say to anybody listening right now, you're sitting on our couch together, and on your lap and in between you are your two puppy dogs, Olive and Charlie. Very well behaved. They're adopted. You've done very well with them.
We think they're adopted.
I know they're dogs, but like I can already tell that you're going to be great parents. Layne's going to be a helicopter dad. Okay, so around the time you were thinking of getting married, you had the conversation. We want to have a family.
Yeah.
Which makes I can see this for you.
I think I've always wanted to be a mom. I think I always knew it was something I'd want to do. I've always I don't know, from the time I was a toddler, I had baby dolls and I was just mothering everything.
Yeah.
So I think I never saw a future where I didn't become a mom. And
Layne, what about you? Is that your passion, your dream?
I mean, I think I always knew I would have a herd of cats.
Which we do have.
Which tracks,
Yeah, that
I'm
you
sure.
want more.
Yeah.
I know that.
More cats. The dogs were a surprise for me. And I don't know. I think I would have been maybe a little less sure about human babies, but obviously Hayley wanted human babies, and
You love Hayley.
I love Hayley. So there we go. Decision made.
Decision made. Yeah.
That's great. That's cool. That is one example of how your love works. Dale and I have a lot of admiration for your relationship. We think you both have just great. You're like the perfect match for each other. So
I think I hit the jackpot. I do.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah, for sure. And he did as well.
I hit
really.
the jackpot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So which one of us would you keep is the question.
As a friend, if you broke up,
Yeah. You only get one.
I just signed up for book club with Hayley's
Oh, no.
group. Yeah. So I think I can, to be honest, I think I could be friends with both of you. I don't know. You might struggle with both of you maintaining a relationship with Dale because he's not very good at keeping in touch with people. But I could see Layne and Dale carrying on for sure.
Absolutely.
And me being friends with both of you because that's my nature. Unless one of you did something super horrible. Unforgivable.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Like steal the dogs.
I love where this is going. This is, yeah, like something horrible with the dogs and was mean to the other one that I might have to.
Yeah, I mean that is unforgivable.
I ran off with all 4 pets.
That's unforgivable.
All right, so like baby making, like the old-fashioned way, wasn't working out for you guys. At some point, you go like, okay, we're not going to wait. We're going to actually get some help here from science.
Yeah. So we got married on August 20th, 2021. So exactly 2 years ago today.
It was awesome.
So it was October of 2021 that we had an early pregnancy loss. And it was at that point that I think in my gut, I knew our path to parenthood would be a little more complicated than we had anticipated. Yeah. Layne is an eternal optimist.
It's true.
And I think remained hopeful a lot longer than I did that we would be able to start our family the old-fashioned way. So
was that old-fashioned of me to say the old-fashioned way?
No, I like it. I like it.
It works.
Yeah. So in May of 2022, I had been seen by a clinic at the IWK to kind of figure out what was going on, and they sent a referral on to the fertility clinics that we have here in Atlantic, Canada.
You live on Prince Edward Island, so that's quite a drive. Like, that's a lot of traveling.
Yeah, so I think we could have a whole other podcast on the state of women's healthcare in Atlantic, Canada, but we'll save that for another another soapbox. And the only fertility clinics that we have available in Atlantic Canada are in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. So there was no option for us to access it locally on PEI to begin with. And the wait time for that we knew was going to be pretty long.
Very long.
About a year long, even to get seen by the specialist to do some of that deeper dive that I just had a gut feeling that we would need. So we kept trying naturally, the old-fashioned way, until we got into the clinic about 10 months later in March of this past year in 2023. So it was a long season of waiting,
and
I think.
Up until that point, I hope it's not gauche to ask, is this covered by like your health card or like I don't know what we have, but like you have to pay out of pocket for all of this, all these to see anybody like or
so like the IWK was covered for like seeing services, but like the travel and accommodations isn't covered for us. So that's all out of pocket.
As far as actual fertility treatment, it depends. You know, I've jumped jobs a few times the last few years, and some of those companies had really good coverage.
Yeah.
And just the way the cards kind of fell, the one I'm at now doesn't really. They cover the medication, but not the actual like visits and the actual treatment. That's a lot of pocket. But there are some grants through the government that.
Yeah, so the Prince Edward Island government right now, it's fairly new, has a grant available to islanders seeking fertility services.
Yeah.
And
So that's helpful.
you can qualify for up to $10,000 or at a minimum $5,000 a year. So
that's great.
it's
something.
helpful. It's something,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It helps to kind of cover some of the costs because they do add up really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is expensive.
And so you've seen you've been through quite a lot of it. Now we have some good news, but can you tell us a little bit about the first steps to getting to the good news that you have right now? What had to happen? And I want to hear highs and lows.
Well, there's lots of both, so
There
that's good.
are a lot of both.
Whatever you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah, I think the lowest part for me really was the waiting. Like the 18 or so months from August of 2021 to March of 2023 when we like really knew we wanted to grow our family, and it just was like month after month of disappointment and sadness. And I think there was a lot of grief that we both had to work through as a couple through that season of waiting. And I think I see it like there were many turns in the road where I think our relationship could have been splintered quite a bit through that period especially. And I feel really lucky that right now I feel like we're really, really close. I feel like we're the closest we've ever been. So that's been a high.
Yeah. That's great.
I feel like we've grown even closer together. But the season of waiting was the most challenging for me.
Yeah.
And I bet it can be, I bet you can imagine that for some couples maybe that are already struggling, let's say, it's hard enough to have a healthy relationship when you're not trying to have a kid, that you could see that it might be something that could break a relationship.
Absolutely.
It's very stressful. There's so much sadness. Like there's so much grief, and it's just a really stressful thing to have happen. Yeah.
And people don't talk about it is the other thing. Like it's, you don't, I don't know. I don't talk with my friends when they're like, you don't find out until, we're having a baby in X amount of time. Like, it's not really something you talk about.
It's pretty taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think people would be uncomfortable talking about it just because they don't have that experience? Or are there a lot of like, people maybe don't know what to ask, or there's a lot of concern from both ends that are we going to be upsetting somebody, or, why do you think it is so hard to talk about?
All of the above.
All of the above.
I don't know. It's, yeah. I think it's just an uncomfortable topic for people.
And maybe, do you guys sometimes feel like, I don't want to talk about it?
Absolutely.
I think probably you more so than me. You've become like very good at talking about it. I felt like bringing people in and sharing what was going on with other people who were in the same season of trying to conceive. Like I really didn't want to take away from like that blissful season that some people have of like starting out that journey of trying to grow your family, and it's really special. And I didn't want to like have anyone look at us and be like, oh my gosh, we could like that could happen to us too, which in hindsight, like Was that the right thing to do? I don't know. That was a decision we made at the time. All of it is complicated, and like nobody gives you a roadmap for how to navigate any of this. And I think it's been kind of us feeling through the dark and trying to reach out for resources. I love researching, so watching documentaries and reading articles and just trying to learn as much as I could about it, because that made me feel a little less alone through it all. And then bringing them back to Layne, and he watched a few of the documentaries with me and
gave me the Coles notes.
Yeah, I would give the little synopsis of what I'd kind of learned.
Yeah. Well, was it, I mean, because your body is having to be injected with things, and you're going to have to carry this being. And do you think that is maybe a bigger reason why you're watching maybe and researching a little more intensely than Layne, perhaps? So Layne's sort of I'm good, I got the Coles notes, but I mean, Layne, no offense, I know this is immense for you as well, and but there is nothing is going into your body that we know of,
or coming out of.
Well, something had to come out at some point, but yeah, so embarrassing.
You walked into that one.
Nothing to be embarrassed of. We all know how babies are made, with science.
I also think it's personality differences. I am probably I'm more intense and a bit more detail oriented than Layne on a good day.
Hayley has an IVF binder.
We have a thick
binders.
binder full of everything and anything that we might need.
Very organized.
So,
which is great.
Yeah, but I think from the beginning, we've very much been in this together.
Yeah.
When we decided that fertility treatments was something that we wanted to pursue, we went into it with the mentality of we're on the same page, or we're not stepping forward with the next step at all. Because I think that was the only way we'd be able to kind of get through each step that we need to get through, is being 100% in it.
I think too, we kind of, prepared going into it that there's a few steps you can take before going full blown IVF. And we kind of knew from day one that, we just wanted to whatever gives us the best chance.
Yep.
That was what we wanted to go for.
Yeah. So based on the tests that we both had, the preliminary testing, we didn't have to jump right to IVF. They gave us some less invasive options. But like Layne said, I think we kind of took a cost benefit analysis.
You did. There you go.
Yeah. We decided that IVF was what felt right for our family.
Yeah.
Was a spreadsheet involved in this, Layne? This
I
decision?
think there might have been at some point.
Absolutely, there would have been for you. Yeah, absolutely.
We like a good spreadsheet. There's nothing wrong with that.
And can you explain why that would be relevant here, Layne? The
Why?
Spreadsheet? Just your line of work.
I have been called a spreadsheet wizard before.
There you go.
I don't claim that title for myself, but I have been thus described.
So would you say, where, in terms of a baby popping out of you, let's say that's the end goal. I know then there's a whole lifetime of raising a child. But let's say that's the end goal here. Babies come out healthy, happy. Are you guys halfway there? Because
I really hope so.
You've got some great news. What did you have to, science-wise, what did you have to put your body through to get to this good news point that you're going to tell us about?
Yeah, so once we decided we wanted to move forward with IVF, it took about 4 or 5 months, was it? To really kind of get into the thick of IVF, which involves... for us, what they call a mock transfer. So basically we would go in and the doctor made sure that the route they would need to take on the day of transferring an embryo, that my anatomy, they knew how to navigate it and would be able to safely and effectively get an embryo back in my body. So that was step one for us.
It's kind of important.
That was pretty important. And then After that, we had to wait a few weeks. And for my protocol, which is obviously different for everybody, they had me on birth control for a few weeks.
Really?
And at our clinic, it makes scheduling easier if they can kind of regulate where
Your cycle?
the person is at in their
Okay.
cycle to schedule things based on when it would fit for their team. So that was my first step. And then once I stopped my birth control, a few days later, we started on what they call an antagonist protocol. So that meant I was going to be pumped with hormones that, like, simply put, some of them would be growing as many follicles as we possibly could
Follicles
from my
like-
ovaries
Okay.
to be able to produce as many eggs
Okay.
as we possibly could. And then a few days after taking those ones, they give me another kind of injection, again, every day, that Layne would give me, that would stop the follicles from ovulating. So it's kind of like, this is the analogy I've heard, that you're growing like oranges on a tree and you want them to grow as big as they can, but you don't want them to fall off of the tree.
Okay.
So I had one medication that was growing the oranges and another one that was saying, oh, don't fall off yet.
Okay.
And then a couple days before my egg retrieval, they give you what's called a trigger shot. And that just prepares your body for the next step of, like, the doctor actually going in and retrieving as many eggs as they can. So that was a pretty intense, it was about 11 days for us of injections. We chose the route of Layne doing the injections.
I'm basically a doctor now.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard there was an interesting story.
I stabbed myself.
Just right to it.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Just first time injection, stab yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a rough first night.
Totally planned. I had to know what it felt like.
And how was that for you?
It was traumatizing.
Yeah, but
was
then
fun.
you got back on the horse and you did it right away. You were able to give the injection successfully, and you have since never stabbed yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the
job,
one and
buddy.
only time.
So
And,
I
like,
improved. I got better.
everything is, like, so timed. Like, you really have to try as hard as you can to take the injections at the same time every
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
So that event definitely pushed off our timeline a little bit. And that, was a little
We
bit
got better.
stressful. We definitely got better.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, we had fabulous, like, friends and family who dropped off, like, care packages, like, frozen like, the little, like, frozen character Band-Aids, and just, like, making us feel like we had people in our corner going through it.
Yeah.
And
Stabbing themselves.
yeah. And Layne had done up, like, a little, like, gift bag for me every day to open when I did the
Layne?
injections.
That's so sweet.
Haley gives me all the credit, but the part she leaves out is that she bought all of the things for her gift bags.
Okay, not quite. I picked out some of the items for it to make sure that
You got
I
what
would-
you
I got
wanted.
what I wanted.
Yeah,
And
you
then-
know, because you
yeah, Layne put them all together.
I topped up your chocolate supply though, because I didn't
True.
think you bought enough chocolate.
that sounds like you guys made
true.
it a treat.
We
Made a really stressful time a treat.
We have a
yeah,
series of
we did.
pictures of Haley with a number for what day of injections and a popsicle every day after the injections.
yeah.
They're pretty
That's
funny.
Really great, you guys, that you made it a treat. Yeah.
We tried. We tried to make the best of a really shitty situation.
Because there was one injection that was really horrible.
Yeah.
Why? What made it?
I don't like
It
it.
was the same needle as the other one, but
Yeah, but it
was just painful
hurt
for
a
you.
lot more. Like, no lie, like, I would, like, not full out scream, but, like, definitely.
There was a cry of some
Yeah, I
kind,
definitely
like
let
a-
out some more, not even tears. I don't know. It just hurt a lot more.
So you really gotta want to have a baby. to go
That's
through
the thing.
this.
Like, if you're doing IVF, like, or if you're going through, like, infertility at all and, like, trying as much as you can, like, you really want it.
Like, this kid is wanted.
Our kid is wanted.
That's for sure.
Without a doubt. They are very much wanted and very much planned.
Yes.
Yeah.
No accidents in this
No
house.
accidents happening
It's
here.
incredible. It's really inspiring. I don't think I've ever wanted something as much as you guys want this kid. That's amazing.
It's, yeah, I think, and that's when you really have to be on the same page for us. Like it's a big commitment, like financially, it's a big commitment physically, emotionally, like you're going to go through it.
So do you think it's good for people to know what they're getting into, or do you think it's maybe better for them not to know because they may not? Like, do you think the knowing might actually deter somebody from making the decision?
I mean, maybe. For me, I'm someone who has to know everything before I make a decision. Like, I want to know what it could look like. I want to know where it could all possibly go wrong. I want to know.
Yeah, me
I
too.
just want to know.
I want the Coles notes.
Yeah.
I want to be ready. Yeah.
I want to be ready.
Yeah.
I want to be prepared, and I want to be able to kind of pre-plan for anything that could go wrong.
Yeah.
And always have like a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and probably further into the alphabet. So it's very much planned.
11 days of shots.
11 days of shots.
Hormones are going wild. Like they are
Yeah.
high.
So I was at a pretty high risk of developing what's called ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. And that ended up coming to fruition.
Okay.
So
What does that look like?
that looks like really high estrogen levels. So my estrogen levels by day like 7, 8 of injections had really skyrocketed. So at that point, I got a call from the clinic that was essentially them telling me that I was no longer a candidate to be able to do what's called a fresh transfer. So that means if we were to get any embryos, they'd all have to be frozen. We couldn't try to put one back into my body right away because my hormone levels were really too high.
Okay.
And not only would that be dangerous, but having really high estrogen levels can also like prevent implantation, so prevent pregnancy.
Okay.
So I was actually really okay with that. My body felt really gross, and I just knew that I wouldn't be in the right headspace to move forward with the next step of a transfer. But I know that can be a really emotional call to get for a lot of people and a lot of couples. Because the wait is so long for everything, and this is just making the wait longer and more expensive.
Yes.
But
you're like, yep, fine, whatever's best.
Yeah, and honestly, like that whole like week feels like a fever dream. Like I feel like I was just like I had tunnel vision. Like I just wanted to get through it. Thankfully, I was able to take those 2 weeks off of work. So like I just needed to focus on getting through the days.
Yeah.
And you're only just getting back to normal.
And
now.
I'm only just getting back to normal. So
You needed that time.
and I feel really blessed and grateful that we could make that work for us. So on the day of the egg retrieval, which we've been calling the Great Egg Hunt, we went in and we're there bright and early in Moncton. And they brought me into the like prep room and then brought me into the surgical room, and Layne was able to come into that room with me briefly while they kind of got me all set up.
Yeah.
And then they started pumping me with all the meds to kind of put me under what they call conscious sedation.
Okay.
And I don't remember feeling a thing. And this is where, like, I'm really happy that I spoke to other people who have gone through this, and they said, like, ask for the meds. Like, don't be shy about asking for meds, because I think notoriously, especially, like, in women's health, procedures are more painful than they need to be.
Yes.
And so the nurses were incredible. Like, they were reading my body language and, like, really, like, making sure that they were staying on top of it. So for me, the egg retrieval process like was, I think, as positive as it could have been. And so as the doctor's going in and retrieving the eggs, like they're counting them like 1, 2. So like as you're on the table, like you know how many
They're grabbing
eggs you're getting, which like again I vaguely remember. I remember the beginning, but like I don't remember beyond that. But I remember them getting the first 2 eggs, which was kind of cool.
And what was our total count?
So we ended up getting 10 eggs.
Wow.
Yeah,
to me that sounds like retrieval. A lot.
Yeah, and I think like eggs are like your numbers are so subjective, and it's going to be different for everybody. And I think for me, I was expecting and hoping for more, but I was really proud of having 10 too, because it's like it's hard work growing eggs. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they told us that I had 10, I just like had this gut feeling. I said, we're going to get 5 embryos. And spoiler alert, 6 days later, we got the call that we had 6 little blastocysts that had grown and were looking really good and had been frozen.
5.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, oh.
No, 5, day 6. We had, so on day 6, we had 5 blastocysts.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So that was like a really...
I was like, what didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
surprised.
Well, actually, technically we did
actually.
have 6 blastocysts, but the way that our clinic does grading, if it doesn't reach a certain grade, then our clinic discards of the blastocyst.
Okay.
So we had 5 blastocysts that our clinic graded as like an acceptable grade for them to freeze.
Which is
so
great.
Technically we did have 6. But we had 5 like quote unquote like good quality blastocysts.
Can you call them potential babies?
I call them chances. We have 5 chances.
5 chances.
We have 5 chances.
We're not going to name them all Chance.
Yeah. Oh.
Little chance.
Could be a good name though.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So like I feel like it was weird because as I was so hopped up on like medications and hormones, but I've never felt so in tune with my body. Like even when we were doing like the ultrasounds leading up to the egg retrieval, which for us we had to go in several more times than I think we were expecting because they were monitoring me so closely because of my hormone levels.
Which was good.
Which was really good, yeah. Mm-hmm. So as they were doing the ultrasounds, I had like a couple like almost like visceral, I want to call it like a spiritual. I was just like that's the one. About 3 of them. I had a really strong reaction to 3 follicles.
Yeah.
So
this is good.
I don't know what that means. Maybe I was just like really...
I think it was the drugs.
It could have been the drugs.
You were really high,
but
apparently.
like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was a really interesting, fascinating experience.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that step is over.
So right now you're in a bit of a blissful state.
Yeah.
Your estrogen levels are now going down. Mm-hmm. And then how much longer until we can put those eggs in the oven? What's the next, is that the next step?
Yeah. Yeah, our next step would be what they call a frozen embryo transfer. So they're wanting my levels to come back down, and then they told me to call back on my next cycle day 1, and hopefully before then we have a call with our specialist, our doctor, to kind of decide what protocol he's going to put me on, because I am suspected to have endometriosis.
Okay.
I say we, the royal we, as in me and Layne, but me in particular, I want to make sure that we're taking that into account as we do a frozen embryo transfer. So I have a lot of questions for our doctor leading up to our next call, which I think has been a big lesson for, like, you need to advocate for yourself and you need to ask all the questions and you need to kind of come prepared. And so we're just waiting on that call with our doctor. And depending on what he says and what the plan is, they're thinking like definitely this fall would be when we do our transfer.
He told us on our first consult, pregnant by autumn, and we've been...
so Layne's been holding
I've been latching onto that.
Like,
pregnant by autumn.
Binding agreement as far as I'm concerned.
So I feel like right now we're in this state of like you said, like a blissful state. Like we're feeling very hopeful, very optimistic. And honestly, I'm cherishing that because there hasn't been a whole lot of that so far in our journey, for lack of a better word.
And I think we're still prepared that like things may not, and we could have some setbacks, but overall I think we're feeling optimistic.
I mean, the stats are like it's basically a 50-50 chance.
Yeah. I like those odds.
I think we're willing to bet. We've heard that it's like 3 embryos on average per what they call live birth. So I think there's a lot of science involved. Like there's a lot of strategic planning. I'm convinced now there's also magic too. Like really and truly there is. You're giving me the biggest eye roll, but there is.
Yeah.
There has to be.
There's no magic left
Believe
in
in the
this.
power of magic. Come on.
We do. We need something to hold on to.
We tried that for the first 2 years and it didn't work.
Yeah, well, we need to bring it back in.
We need to keep Layne and Hayley together, so maybe we'll change the subject on magic. But at least you guys can both agree on the science side of things. The magic, we're not 100%. But
we need the science.
You even if just one of you, maybe that's where the 50-50 comes in.
There we
Only
go.
one of you believes in magic, and that's all you need.
Maybe.
I'm with you on the magic side of things. I know it's super cheesy to say that, but it's true. Stories do have the power to heal and help. So I thank you so much for sharing this, your story. And I think it will help other people. I feel very privileged to be privy to your beautiful story.
Well, thanks for being in our corner.
Yeah.
I'll look out for you if you'll look out for me. I'll look out for you if you'll look out for me.
So you're here and there's a baby in you.
We have a baby on the way.
And it's coming soon. Yeah, we're 10 weeks?
9 weeks away.
9 weeks.
9 weeks away. Like it happened. Okay, so bring us up to speed on how this happened. Because it's been a while. We last saw you, we talked to you last August, almost a year ago. We went away. Y'all had to do this tough work. And there were some highs and lows. Do you want to kind of update us on that? And then I want to hear about the day you found out that it worked.
Ah.
All right.
Do you want to...
I was going to say, you can start with the September.
Okay. So September.
You guys are really good at this, by the way. If I remember last time, I was like, wow, have they been on the news and prepped for this? Like,
We just talk about it a lot.
is it
We
teleprompter?
process it a lot.
It's all consuming.
Okay,
It is all consuming. I don't know. So September, we had our first transfer, which was not successful. Thus, first transfer, not.
What's a transfer again?
So transfer is when they take the embryo
Yeah.
and they stick it in the uterus.
They stick it in.
That's all it is, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
but they'll choose typically they'll choose your most like highly graded embryo. And
Oh, you lost the high.
I know.
El
grade
Primo.
Yeah.
quality.
El Primo.
Yeah, did not stick
yeah.
around,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So for us, we did what they call a natural cycle. So we didn't do like a lead up where you would do like down regulation with a whole bunch of different medications and then essentially use medications to simulate like a menstrual cycle in your body. We just kind of followed my own system and my own cycle and didn't do any additional medication other than a little bit of supplementation with progesterone. And we were supposed to do a trigger shot.
Which I messed up.
Trigger shot. Now that, what does a trigger shot do again?
So it triggers ovulation.
Okay.
So you would know exactly when you would ovulate. And then our embryo is technically a 5-day-old embryo.
Okay.
So you would want to do the transfer like 5 days after your ovulation would have happened. So the trigger shot allows you to like time that so you would know exactly when you would want to do the transfer. And in the September cycle,
Layne fucked it up.
I did.
he fucked it up.
I did.
Way to go, Layne.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that like it wasn't anyone's fault.
It was your. It
No?
sounds like it was.
I stand by this. Okay, it was my fault.
No,
But
I
it
know
was-
the full. I know the full story. It was.
It was a comedy of errors, and that's you
Yeah.
know these things happen. We did mess it up.
There were no clear instructions. Am I getting that right?
Miscommunication. Yeah.
There were clear instructions that didn't make it to my table as I was preparing the injection.
Gotcha.
So we didn't do the full trigger shot. So then we had to go back to Moncton a whole bunch of times in a hurricane. Well, Hayley had to go back.
Awesome.
And it didn't work. Was the long story
of the
short is that transfer did not work. And so October was a rough month for us and the end of September.
Yeah, I think for us, October was just kind of about figuring out where we were both mentally, letting my body kind of recover physically, and just trying to see when we'd feel ready to try again. Because I don't think we were expecting the embryo transfer process to be as exhausting and stressful as it was.
And I don't think we expected it to not work, despite, lots of evidence and lots of like warnings that like it's totally normal for it to not work. I think we kind of went in like, oh, of course this is going to work.
Yeah.
We had
You know.
so much naive optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was okay.
Yeah.
Was
I
it
think
though? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, long term, yeah, because
yeah.
yeah. And I think where we're at now is like,
Oh yeah, right
we
now there's a
have-
baby right in front of me.
Yes.
In your belly.
so we can't
Of course it's
imagine
okay.
it going any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just mean there were bad days. It wasn't great to find out.
Oh, it sucked.
It wasn't as easy as you thought it would be to process the news of that is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, it was devastating. And like, we also weren't really testing because a lot of people will test at home. So they kind of know whether it worked or not. And we decided not to. And so it was
The
a bit
day
of
of the
a,
blood test.
yeah, it was kind of a crushing blow when, oh, okay, it really didn't work.
Yeah, yeah.
It was not an easy phone call for us.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to decide, okay, no, we're ready to try again?
Almost immediately.
Oh yeah.
Well,
But we knew we couldn't do it like, we knew we needed a bit of a break.
yeah, we
but-
knew the next cycle. Like we knew October was not going to be it.
But we knew it wouldn't be long.
Yeah. But our doctor gave us the option of taking October to kind of do a little bit of additional testing, letting kind of my body feel a little bit better. So we did take him up on that option to kind of get us ready for the November embryo transfer. But October was hard.
Yeah.
It was definitely a exhausting month, but I feel like we both felt like we needed to do some just healing.
Yeah, and then I think in November we decided it was time for our next transfer, and the first time we went in, it was going to work. We were super optimistic. The second time we went in, and we were both kind of like, well, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
Like,
we did not have the same optimism.
total flip, and like I remember like the day before we went in, just thinking like, this isn't going to work, and is it really worth it to do it again after this? Which in hindsight was a silly mindset to go in with, but that's where we were at.
Well, I think our energy was so low that like we were really questioning like how many more times can we do this and get an unsuccessful result because it was a really hard blow. And I think like obviously we'd had so many times of seeing negative tests before, like it's not like that was new to us, but just knowing how much we'd put into it financially, the time, physically, emotionally, like you pour so much into it that when it's a negative, it's like what square one's going to look like. So,
Yeah.
And then the day you got the news, like where were you? What happened?
I had been taking those 2 weeks off of work, just kind of hanging out at home, keeping stress as low as it could be.
Drinking lots, smoking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I get it.
Doing all the things I tell you not to do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drinking lots of water.
Drinking lots of water, eating lots of good food, sleeping lots. And so we were both home when we got the call. I think I was just setting up my craft room to keep my hands busy because we knew the call was coming that day because we'd gotten our blood work done that morning. So we were kind of just waiting on pins and needles in anticipation for the nurse to give us a ring. And my phone started ringing a little earlier than I thought it would. I frantically got Layne and we put the phone on speaker.
And the nurse was very casual about it because I think
Really?
they just assume that everyone is testing before the actual test.
Yeah.
So they thought we knew. So the nurse is like, "Yeah, I'm just calling to confirm that you're pregnant." And we're like, "What?"
Like, what?
And she's like, "Yeah, you're very pregnant." So Hayley's numbers were like, I forget how much high, it was like crazy high numbers.
Yeah, typically around that time, it was 10 days after our transfer. Like 100 would have been like a number that they'd be excited to see. And I was about at 800.
Whoa.
So she was just so positive and optimistic. And they did tell me, I think 4 days later, I went in for another blood draw just to confirm that things were still moving along. But it was a pretty awesome phone call.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Best phone call ever.
Were you feeling anything in your body change like around that time? Were you like, maybe I'm pregnant because...
Well, it's funny. The first transfer, I was like convinced that it had worked because I was like feeling so many different things in my body. And maybe I was convincing myself that I felt them, or maybe it was just like because I was taking that progesterone as a supplement. Maybe it was that. But this time around, I felt like almost nothing. Like the only thing that kind of changed was I had a little bit of aversion to food that I had really been liking at the beginning of the transfer. And then I really only wanted to eat like bread and fruit by the end of those 2 weeks. But in my mind, I was like, well, last time I had so many symptoms and it didn't work. So I was kind of more thinking that it probably hadn't worked because I wasn't feeling any different.
Yeah.
But
Lo and behold.
a week later, I felt very different, and the nausea and vomiting had kicked in to high gear. So it didn't take long.
Yeah.
But
and you've had a nauseating pregnancy.
yeah, probably until 20 weeks. It was pretty intense.
You were a trooper, though.
I think we're just so grateful to be on this side of IVF because it's not a guarantee. And I think we knew that, but we hoped that we would be on this side. And I think the feeling of like being the luckiest people on the planet hasn't been something that we've been able to shake.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's bright all around us, it's flighty and free. I look in your eyes, I don't like what I see. Everywhere around here it bends and it falls.
Oh,
So
There we go.
let me say, I've said it before probably, but let me say officially to the world, congratulations, you did it.
Woo.
thank you.
Okay, so what I don't like, there's just like, you had the baby, and then, okay, one of the burning questions I have is like, I hear they say when you have a baby, you get this like feeling of love like you've never had before. And is that true, or do you actually, is that like total BS? Like,
Oh, it's so true.
I think for us, yeah.
So
true.
was it like something you were like, I had no idea until
I think
happened?
throughout the whole IVF process, I think we both knew that meeting our child would be incredible. But like when the moment happened and they put him on my chest for the first time, I don't even know if I could describe it.
Yeah, you can't really prepare for it. I think we felt like IVF had maybe prepared us in some ways, and it's funny in hindsight to be like, oh, that was foolish. It didn't prepare us
Yeah.
for some of those feelings.
No.
Okay, so does that feeling ever go away, or is it like there to stay? Because it's been like how long now? Almost a year.
Almost a year. Yep. In a couple weeks, he'll be 1 whole year old.
I don't know. It's so corny because people are like, oh, it just gets better every day. And you roll your eyes. You go, oh my God, I can't listen to this person talk anymore. But it is true. It does. There's not that there's not hard days, but it does just get better and better. And
yeah, I think like that's the thing. Like there are really hard moments and harder days than others.
Shocking, I'm sure.
Yeah. But I think the constant through all of that for us has just been like this absolute adoration of this child.
Stanley's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool.
He definitely has a rhythm. If you can't hear
Are you
that
going to be
right
a drummer? Layne would love it.
I would.
If one day Stanley
That'd be
was
cool.
a little drummer.
That'd be great because he'd have all the support, I'm sure, from you guys, like in the music department.
Make all the noise he wants.
Are there things what are you most looking forward to with Stanley? Like, I mean, I guess there's a whole lifetime, but like in the next 10 years, are you pumped about like reading, standing, walking, or are you like, no, maybe sleeping?
Dale wins. Dale wins. It's definitely sleeping.
Through the night will be incredible.
Yeah.
Still haven't done that yet.
I think just getting to know, like, every day we get to know his personality a little bit more.
You took the words out of my mouth.
And just like seeing, like, even now it's like, oh, we know who he is so much more than a year ago.
Yeah.
And next year it'll be even more so. And I just think by the time he's 10, it's like, we'll have some idea of who he is that we don't now. And I just think that's really cool.
Incredible.
That is cool.
Like the newborn days were really hard because like we had no idea who this little baby was. We didn't know what he needed. Like we were just guessing at everything, every step of the way. And he had a really challenging first 3 months. Like it was not easy for him. And now looking back, just being like, oh my gosh, I wish that we'd known then what we know now about him.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're just going to have that
All the
happen
time.
all the time, the rest of his life.
And that's
Love
okay.
that.
So
You guys are great parents. I called it. I did, didn't I? Didn't I?
Maybe?
Guys, don't be humble. Come on. I was like, you guys are going to be awesome parents. I said it. And then you. Yeah, we'll pull up the other times I said it.
Yeah, insert
right now.
soundbite here.
Yeah. Yeah.
we are trying our best, and I think that's
all we can do.
all we can do.
That is all you
That's
can
all
do.
we can do.
Yeah, you're allowed
And
to
hope
have
that
like, rough
hope that we're
times.
doing what we can for him, and just loving every little fiber of his being.
Thank you for being our guest
think-
3 times in one episode.
We've actually just been here the whole time. So we've
You just,
we've been sitting at these mics for like a year and a half now.
I actually delivered Stanley. But we've opted to keep that episode private.
It's love. I don't want to say goodbye to you. Oh, I don't want to say goodbye to you.
Welcome to the Heartbeat Hotline, 1-902-669-4769. I'm the host of A Chat with Heart podcast, Christina Martin, and I'm so excited you called. Leave me your question, a suggestion for the podcast, or a comment about this episode. Please be aware your message may be used on the podcast and social media. Tell me your name, where you're calling from, and it's also fine if you want to remain anonymous. Thanks for listening. Have a great fucking day. Hey, thanks for listening to A Chat with Heart, produced by me, Christina Martin. Co-produced and engineered by my partner in life and sound, Dale Murray. Dale's not just a wizard with knobs, he's also a killer singer-songwriter, session musician, and music producer. Go snoop around his world at dalemurray.ca. The podcast theme song, Talk About It, and I Don't Want to Say Goodbye to You were written by me and recorded by Dale. Want to support what we do? You can snag CDs, vinyl, digital music, and some weirdly delightful merch like custom puzzles and temporary tattoo packs over on my Bandcamp. If you're into keeping indie art alive or just want good karma, become a monthly or yearly member on my Patreon. It's a platform that helps creators get paid to keep making stuff we love. I swear by it. Sign up, free or paid, at patreon.com/Christina Martin. If this podcast made you laugh, cry, think, or rage text your best friend, do me a solid, share it, rate it, review it, and hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. And to all my little heartbeat listeners, stay weird, stay tender, and I'll catch you next time.